Okay, the remedy for strained ligaments and tendons. Here we have a bottle of apple cider vinegar. Now this is the amber colored kind. When you get ready to make this remedy, don't pick up distilled vinegar. You need this kind. And 1 pound of iodized table salt. Now I'm going to mix this in the clear bowl so you can see the proportions. You see, the readings recommend a saturated solution. That means as much salt as the vinegar will dissolve. In fact, some readings say you should put more salt than the vinegar can dissolve, so that's what I'm going to do here. The best thing to do is to pour the vinegar in first. That way you can see how much the salt will dissolve as it comes in. And we're just going to do a little bit for the rub. Now the salt. Vinegar and salt, I mean, you use it all the time. Who would think that this can do what it's meant to do? Okay, now you notice that already the salt, swish it around a little bit. Well, the salt will dissolve very quickly in vinegar, being acidic. There's still salt sitting in the bottom, so that means it's saturated. Now, what do we do with this mixture? Well, let's say that I've injured my knee. I can use this remedy in two ways. First of all, I can just simply rub it on. Just one reading suggests rubbing it on the knee maybe twice a week. Now, you have to realize that this is very strong. Remember, this is apple cider vinegar. It smells stronger than white vinegar, and it kind of smells like a Caesar salad, so you may want to go into the bathroom to do this treatment. And the readings recommend actually using the undissolved salt as an abrasive as you massage this in. The readings also say to do it gently and that it can hurt the first few times. But if it works as well for you as it did for me, it's well worth it. Now, the readings sometimes recommend binding this solution on in the form of a pack. Now, here's how to do that. First, add some extra salt to the saturated solution. Then take strips of sheet, about like this, and simply soak them thoroughly in the solution. Now, just wrap the knee with these strips so that you have 3 or 4 layers around the knee and cover it with plastic. And then wrap a small towel around the knee. Then secure the towel with a strong cord or string and just tie the pack on like this. Of course, you can apply the pack to any part of the body. Just adapt the strips to your own special needs. And remember, use a towel because the vinegar is going to be somewhat drippy. Now, the reading suggests that you leave the pack on for about an hour or until all of the liquid is absorbed. And when you get finished, remember, you can use the strips over and again. Just don't store them in a metal container because vinegar is very acidic. Put them in a glass jar or plastic or ceramic ware and make sure it has a nice tight lid on it. Now, let's take a look at some treatments for muscles and sprains. With today's active lifestyles, it seems that sooner or later most of us end up with strained muscles or sometimes even a sprain, what with jogging and working in the yard. Well, these can be very painful and even immobilize you if severe enough. Well, Edgar CAYCE had a great formula for relief that you can make yourself. We're going to show you how. The main ingredient is kerosene. The readings call it coal oil, olive oil, mineral oil, which the readings call Russian white oil, witch hazel. Now, these ingredients can be found anywhere, but tincture of benzoin is a little harder to find. Most well-stocked drugstores carry it, but they may have to order it for you. And oil of sassafras is very hard to find, but most stores that supply CAYCE products will have it, or it can also be ordered. The reading that provided the formula said this: to 1 ounce of olive oil add. So it's clear that the olive oil has to go first. So we'll put in the olive oil, and instead of trying to use a measuring cup to find 1 ounce, we're just going to use a tablespoon. 1 tablespoon equals 1/2 ounce. So 2 tablespoons of olive oil to begin. Next, it lists the ingredients in this order. Russian white oil, 2 ounces. Remember, Russian white oil is mineral oil, so 2 ounces of this. This would be 4 tablespoons. Okay, 2 ounces of Russian white oil, also mineral oil. Next was witch hazel, 1/2 ounce. which would equal 1 tablespoon. Finally, tincture of benzoin, 1/2 ounce. Again, 1 tablespoon equals 1/2 ounce. And then oil of sassafras, 20 drops. Actually, the reading said 20 minims, but we're going to use drops, very easy to remember, and just use an eyedropper. This really makes it smell good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That was a good squirt. We won't put any more in it. Next, the coal oil, which is also kerosene. Now, this is a fine grade of coal oil. This particular coal oil we call crystal clear. And the crystal clear coal oil comes from the hardware store. Make sure you ask for the best grade. Now we can use the measuring cup because we need 6 ounces of this. So we just look down on the side. And go to here. Now all we do is stir it up. Now if you do this in something other than a measuring cup, perhaps in a bottle, shake it up real well. Mix the ingredients very well. And when you shake it, you notice that all of the solutions that we've put in will mix up to the point that they're not separated. Then all you have to do, as you get to that point, is simply put it into a small bottle, and it's best to put it into a dark bottle, a brown bottle like this. Simply use a funnel and pour it in. Leave a little bit of room in the jar so you can shake it each time you get ready to use it. Obviously, we're using a smaller jar here. You may want to get a larger one. They're very easy to come by. And anytime you're ready to use it, just shake it up. And there you have it, CAYCE's liniment. Make sure you label it properly, though. You know, we live in a day and age when our eyes are really worked hard. Many of us look at computer screens or printed pages all day long. Practically all of us watch television or read the newspaper, and our eyes really suffer from it. So I would like to share with you a few tips from the CAYCE readings on taking care of your eyes. Now, some of this will surprise you. First, I'd like to show you an exercise that CAYCE recommended to over 250 people who came to him with a variety of eye and ear complaints. It's very simple. You begin by standing or sitting comfortably with good posture. Then slowly and easily drop your head forward and then straighten it up. And you do this twice more. Drop your head forward and straighten. And drop your head forward and straighten. Now do the same thing, dropping your head backwards, but be careful not to force or strain anything. Back and straighten. And twice more. Back and straighten. And back and straighten. Now we drop the head 3 times to the side and straighten. And a second time and straighten. And a third time and straighten. And now maybe you've guessed that we drop the head to the other side 3 times. Straighten. And again. And straighten. And a third time. And straighten. Now we roll the head in a circle 3 times. Again, being careful not to strain anything. Drop the head and gently roll. Once, twice, and 3 times. Now we reverse the direction. Drop the head and 1, 2, and 3. And that's it. The readings stress two things about this exercise. First, it says do it every day, even twice a day, morning and evening, not just once in a while. The readings stress two things about this exercise. First, the readings say do it every day, even twice a day, morning and evening, not just once in a while. The other thing is to take your time with it and do it slowly and carefully. As I said, this exercise was recommended very widely in the readings for eyes and ears. The trick is to keep it up, to do it consistently. Now that's one procedure that benefits the eyes. The other treatment for your eyes is the ordinary white potato, or Irish potato as they're called in the readings. They're called Irish potatoes to distinguish them from sweet potatoes. Now, the way you use the Irish potato is to grate it into a poultice and put it directly over the closed eyelid. The readings stress that it should be an old Irish potato. Now, you may be wondering, what's an old potato? Well, the readings specifically say last year's crop or one that hasn't been frozen or sprouted. Now, Dr. Riley stresses in his book the importance of using an organically grown potato, one that hasn't been subjected to herbicides or pesticides. It may sound like you have to go on a treasure hunt to find an organically grown potato, but you really don't, because more and more health and organic food stores offer them. So you can probably find one without too much problem. Now, if you have to use a grocery store potato, it's not a problem, but you should scrub it very, very well before you get ready to use it. Now, compared to finding the potato, I guess using it is a snap, because it's very simple. Let me show you how. After washing the potato thoroughly, organic or not, wash it thoroughly, all you have to do is grate it. You'll want about this much, just enough to fit over the eye. Then put the scrapings onto a gauze pad or a wash rag. Put it over the closed eye. Then just lean back and relax for about 30 minutes or so. Actually, the recommended time varied a great deal in the readings. One woman was told to keep it on all night. Now, when you take the poultice off, there's one more thing you need to do. You need to bathe the eye. You see, the poultice draws out the inflammation and the infection, and it needs to be washed away. The potato poultice can be used both for, well, small eye irritations due to scratches or dust or other little things that get in your eye. It really is an excellent treatment. Try it. Okay, there are some suggestions for the eyes. Now let's see what the CAYCE readings have to say about taking care of the teeth and gums. Walk into any store today and you instantly discover that teeth and gums are a major cosmetic and health concern. And people had the same concerns in Edgar Cayce's day. When they asked him about good dental care, they found some helpful advice. First, Cayce suggested massaging the teeth and gums several times a week with equal portions of salt and baking soda using the finger, then followed by daily brushing with any good toothpaste. But the real innovative advice came in a formula that Cayce recommended that you can make at home. Now, it's really very simple. The three basic ingredients are easy to find, and the fourth, which is prickly ash bark liquid, you have to make yourself. This is prickly ash bark. It comes from the Native American tree, the prickly ash. American Indians called it the toothache bark, and it's a primary ingredient in this extremely